Welcome back to Rebirth Revolution. My name is Melissa Olson. In the revolution, we are going to stand on our own 2 feet. It makes me nuts when I see all the memes on Facebook that say things like, always notice people who are happy for your happiness and sad for your sadness. They're the ones who deserve special places in your heart. In the revolution, we're going to work towards not needing others to mirror or validate our emotions. What you think and feel is neither magnified nor wiped out by others' agreement or disagreement. Own your emotions and actions and be confident and fulfilled by that. To look for external validation leaves you open to unhealthy relationships and easy manipulation. Needing someone else to validate your feelings comes from the part of you that doesn't understand your own power. It's telling you that getting someone else's buy-in will make you whole and your feelings justified. It is deceiving you into thinking that you and you alone are not enough. Feel what you feel and then do what you need to do about it, if anything. Don't insist that others make your feelings real. The quest to find others to back you in your feelings is just a ruse to avoid what the feelings are about. It's just buying time until you get around to the work that the feeling may require. Feelings can be seen like turn signals on a car. When you have a feeling, it's telling you to pay attention because you may need to turn left or right. It's telling you there is something that needs to be acknowledged. Maybe that feeling needs action. Maybe it doesn't. But only you know that for sure. Stop, figure it out, then move on. We all know what it's like driving behind someone who never turns off their turn signal. Not everything is an issue. If we're to rule the world, we will need to be judicious in deciding which feelings are calling for action, which can be walked off, and which can be dismissed with a laugh. Not every feeling you have in the course of a day is deserving of your undivided attention. We're here to love one another, but we're not here to be enmeshed in every emotional disturbance that comes up, because let's admit it, most of them are really not worth our time. Trying to get someone else to confirm that you were the victim or you were right and everyone else was wrong is just not useful, especially since we rarely ask people who will tell us the unvarnished truth. We choose enablers who just participate in stalling out our forward movement. We're all capable of being responsible for our feelings. Identify them, see if there's something you can do to solve them, and if not, figure out your next step or how to make peace with it. Don't drag others into the problem, just figure it out and move forward. That may sound cold, but it's actually empowering. It is based in a belief that you can and should know your own mind. You have the skill of discernment that informs you of the relative importance of the problem and the power to enact any necessary change to set your mind right. There is nothing as powerful as someone who knows their own mind. So many of our troubling thoughts and emotions are wrapped up in events that involved another person or other people. We replay the whole scenario time and time again, taking on the emotions for all involved. It's a way of driving ourselves crazy. But in the revolution, we're going to become meticulous about what is ours and what belongs to others. With surgical precision, we will learn to carve out the part of the story that is ours to grow from, and we will trust that the system is always in effect, always prepared to deliver the knowledge to fill everyone's spiritual awareness gaps, which is a process some call karma. We are not responsible for the growth of the others involved. Some think of karma as a punishment, but it is way less personal than that. We're here to learn it all, understand it all. The gaps in our awareness will be presented to us in another situation so that we can learn the lesson. Of course, we'd all like to see the lightning bolt that immediately strikes the other person down, but that's not how karma works. It plays out over time, over lifetimes even. One of our hardest lessons is developing the patience and trust that everything turns out the way it is supposed to, and that no one gets away with anything. We won't need to obsess about conflicts because we will see that they are completely necessary for our growth. We will go through life knowing that we have many legitimate options for dealing with life's difficulties and life's difficult people. Once you strip it all back down to what is actually yours to deal with, you can let the rest go. Imagine that. The revolution will sharpen and redefine your to-do lists. I know you're powerful. I know you're here for big things. But you didn't need me to tell you that. How can we help empower you? Let us know at rebirthrev@gmail.com or leave a comment at www.rebirthrevolution.com. We would really love to hear from you. Now it's time for the concept of the week. Okay, people, we have reached the third of the 3 tracks, and this is the meatiest of the bunch. It is also, in my opinion, the most important. Admittedly, this will challenge many people, though I have to admit that I knew this and was comfortable with it back when I was a child. The church I attended wasn't able to talk me out of it. The third and most important track is your own individual spiritual awareness progression. It is the reason you exist now and always will exist. If you're here on earth, you are in the system. The system is built to facilitate your complete growth from spiritual kindergartner through achieving your spiritual master's degree. For some people, this journey can be completed in 1 or 2 lifetimes. For most, it will take 9 or 10. Along the way, you will move forward and backward through grade levels based on the choices you make. You will learn all the lessons of what is important. You will feel all of the feelings. You will be granted your master's degree when you're left feeling nothing but love and compassion for yourself and everyone else on the planet. Most of the difficult lessons you experience are acts of stripping away everything that is not love. At the core of you is what can be called the soul. It is the immutable part that uses race, gender, and other choices made prior to birth to facilitate growth, but is not at all defined by these factors, since you will choose differently in the next lifetime. Your soul contains all the spiritual lessons you have learned and is always connected to your Creator by a thread that we call intuition. Intuition is not some silly parlor trick. It's the everlasting connection between you and the one who created you. All of these factors will make up who you are this time around. They're just the packaging and placement that will let you have the experience that supports your growth. You will have different experiences if you are a woman than you would have if you were a man. You will have different experiences if you have more melanin or less. You will have different experiences depending on the culture you choose to join. These attributes set you up for your optimal learning experience. Oh, and while we're at it, it would make absolutely no sense for the creator of the system to identify as a subset of the choices that are available. Omnipotence means you don't fit in any box, especially not one of your own making. It also means that there would be no reason for the creator to feel unloving towards anyone created, no matter what packaging and placement they chose, since the creator designed those options. When you arrive here on Earth, you still have a clear feeling and connection to the other side. But once you've been here for a few years, 3 different veils drop, obstructing your view. First, you lose your memory of the other side. Then you lose your memory of who other people are. Then you lose your memory about who you really are. The act of growing and advancing through the grade levels is more of an act of remembering than of learning. You knew all of this and will now go through the process of rediscovering it. The human experience you are having has a starting point of the spiritual awareness grade level you had achieved up to the point of your re-entry. You may have entered here as a spiritual kindergartner. You may have entered as a child who is already working at the level of a spiritual college student. Those will be remarkably different childhoods, even when they happen in the same household. One of the most frustrating things about being on Earth is that we can't imagine why some people have it all together and others struggle so much. We're constantly comparing apples to oranges. We start at different levels and we're here to work on different things. Everyone is working at the capacity of their level, whether that's enough for us or not. We're all seeking to move up. We're all seeking to become whole, but this Earth existence is a real obstacle course. Inherent in our Earth experience are human frailties that are so strong that we haven't kicked them, no matter how advanced our collective culture becomes. We have issues that were first defined in the mid-300s as what would become to be known as the 7 deadly sins. Those, to refresh your memory, in their final form were listed as pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. It has been religious tradition to threaten people with damnation for committing any of these sins, but let's be real. These are challenges that are in our wiring. We could have been designed to be perfect, but that was not the plan. We're going to be tempted by and possibly undone by one or more of these on a daily basis. That doesn't make us bad people. It makes us human. Back when it was nothing but wars and premature death, a monk figured out that we all seem to be plagued by these same issues. His list had one extra sin, boasting, and he listed lust as prostitution and fornication, and envy for him played out as sadness at others' good fortune. But here we are, so advanced, and we are still grappling with the same issues over 1,600 years later. It's not that these are sins we will burn in hell for if we commit. There is no one who has taken human form who has not been challenged by one or more, if not all of these issues. Just getting through one day without checking in with at least one of them would be a banner day. These are not your flaws. You will not be punished because you entertain any of these temptations. The 7 deadlies are just a reminder that we have frailties which we need to keep in mind, frailties that we don't seem to be able to evolve past. We shouldn't feel any more shame about having these frailties than we should about having bones that are breakable. This list, however, is a valuable one to keep in mind when you are at decision points. When you make a choice, are you bowing down to one of these, or are you investing in your own power and forward growth? The only thing that matters is what you choose. This is just more information for your thought process. The insistence of organized religion to tell us constantly that we are sinners has always bothered me. It feels disrespectful to the Creator. Had we been designed to be perfect, we would be perfect. That is clearly not the case. We are born into this system as souls who want to learn and understand it all, and we all have a deep pull to get to that place where we feel nothing but love and compassion for all. That end goal will be impossible if we continue to see ourselves and others as damaged and beyond redemption. You are here right now because you have something specific to contribute at this tumultuous time in our history. You are here with all your delicate bones and human needs and dubious thought processes to demonstrate how strong and beautiful the human spirit is. You are here to learn and teach and continue to strive to gain more spiritual awareness. It's in your wiring. It's your destiny. Next week, we're going to talk about the ways that the 3 tracks intertwine. We'll take situations apart and see what is what. Knowing the differences between the 3 allows you to maximize your efforts in life. Send anyone who you think might be interested in these topics our way. That would be greatly appreciated. Until then, be open, be aware, watch for clues, and offload at least one piece of emotional baggage that belongs to someone else. Remember, you are loved exactly as much as every other person on the planet, not 1 ounce more or 1 ounce less. Until then.